All right. Again, it's like 5:50 in the morning. It's like 6 in the morning. It's July 1st now. We got the raffle going on tonight, giving away $15,000 in paintings, sinister paintings for my Paul Narcan Project. And I really appreciate everyone that's bought tickets. There's still time. You can also do it on the live, but it's definitely going to be more cost effective if you do it on the GoFundMe. $30 will get you 12 chances to win, you know, for every $30 you do. So, and we're using that money to do what I've been saying I want to do. You know, it's been a process, and happy that I can do that. And then on top of that, I'm directing the documentary, and directing a film is really hard. Plus, it's like I got to do it right. You know, I got like one shot at this. There's so much footage. If you like my stories, you're gonna love the documentary. It's gonna be unlike anything you've ever seen. I can promise you that. There's just a lot of footage, and I'm trying to make it funny so that it's not just depressing, and it's definitely not going to be some cautionary tale, you know? Well, he was a drug addict for 30 years, and then he hitchhiked to Las Vegas, and he found God. Now he's good. You remember that commercial? For 10 years, I was a bitch. No, I'm not. No, what did he say? For 10 years, I was sober. No. For 10 years, I was an addict. No, I'm not. And then that guy died. What was that? Passages in Malibu? I don't know. If you want to get clean, you get clean. That's it. You know, I quit drinking years ago. And I don't do it anymore. And I like getting drunk. Who doesn't like getting drunk? You know? But I gave it up, and I gave up heroin, needles, all of it. And I feel really good right now. I think I'm going to start doing some videos about sobriety and how to get clean. And my version of sobriety is like, you can do drugs, you just can't do things that fuck your life up. You know, if it enhances your life, which I believe a lot of psychedelics do, I think marijuana has its place, especially if you're a convict, if you're a war veteran. I think that, you know, or you've had any trauma in your life, it's incredibly good for PTSD. I don't like weed. I really don't. It's like a corny high to me, but it helps me decompress at night. So there we go. There's my little 3-minute introduction. Let's get into the story. So lately I've been watching the videos because I have so much going on. I mean, literally, it's like 6 in the morning right now, and I'm just now sitting down to do a video. I've been working on the documentary for literally 12 hours. Woke up and I did the raffle stuff, and then I worked on that all fucking day. I'm beat. But what I've been doing lately is I never used to watch my videos. I just never would. I'd post it. Like, for example, the Al Prophet video's up now, in case you didn't know. I haven't watched that. I don't like watching myself. But I do listen to my videos, and once in a while I'll say something that I think's funny or that makes me laugh. I'm like, wow, that was pretty funny. And then I'll rewind it, and then the second time it doesn't sound as funny. But point is, it's interesting watching these stories that I tell after I tell them. Now, I did live them, and when I tell them, I'm kind of reliving them as I'm telling them. You know how when you read and it's transportive, and you're taken into that book, if it's a good book and you're into reading. Writing's the same way. I create the world, and telling the story is the same way. But when I listen to it, or when I read my own writing, it's a whole different interpretation of it. And what I was thinking, and how this correlates with the video and the story I'm about to tell you, is a lot of this stuff was really, really painful for me. I was just thinking about that time we talked about in the last video where the paisa told on me for the meth. He just threw this scrunched up napkin on the chow hall, and I ended up going to the hole for it. And I was just thinking about like how horrible that was, just having a baby and having to be in solitary confinement like that with a camera while I was on meth. It was like the ultimate torture. And you know what's funny is, after I got caught beating off, I kept doing it and just did the old trick with my knee that I've perfected over the years. You know, I could be beating off right now. That's how good I've gotten at it. Seriously, like, I don't think that you can make money off well, that's not true. Chatterbait. I guess I could beat off on webcams, but I don't know. I'm kind of growing as a person. I'm past that. I don't know. It's just not my thing. Plus, I have a tattoo on my dick. And everyone will be like, oh my God, look, it's that guy. It's that guy whose documentary we just watched, the crackhead that we thought was a pathological liar from all the shit he said on YouTube, and then until we saw the footage, oh my God. Can't believe that guy. What a loser. There's people that are going to think stuff like that no matter what, even though there's redemptive qualities. But I look at all this stuff, and it's really the monotony of it, the barbaric disregard for human beings, the way that these cops treat you, and they're losers. I don't want to be like them. At the moment you're locked up because of mistakes you made, certainly with me, it's been about addiction. I don't think that makes me a bad person. I'm not a violent person. I've become much more violent over the years, and that's a direct result from being incarcerated because I've had to. It's a survive. I mean, it's just weird. Eventually, everybody that's done time knows that eventually you just kind of, couple screws pop out and you're just like, and you start writing bubble songs, and everyone's like, man, you wrote that? Bomb. Can't say anything besides that. It's fucking bomb, right? Bubble song, wow. It's violent, it's edgy, it's sophisticated, it's retro, but it's kind of futuristic at the same time. It's hot. Bro, why are you talking to me like that? That's fucking weird. Weirdo. So I get out of the hole, and I got really into playing poker, I came back, I came back to the unit, and all the white guys are like, dude, I heard what happened, man. Man, that paisa did you dirty. I'm like, yeah, okay. You guys are like, playing air hockey with the paisas. You guys are like, yeah. It's just everything's just perfect here. It's like, you guys have turned domestic. You're like the fucking Brady Bunch of a jail unit. You didn't find it a little disrespectful that a paisa put your leader in the hole? Who's been running the unit? And they all looked at me like, uh-oh, Dad's home. He's a grouch, and his farts stink. Fuck that dude. After I left, they're probably like, man, he's got a short man's complex, man. He's got the Napoleon thing. Yeah, he thinks he's hard. He's not hard. No, he's got shop work. I don't even think he's been to prison. Let's ask him. Hey, bro, have you really been to prison? Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, nobody took over the unit. Nobody took offense to it with the paisas. They just didn't care. They acted like it was, I can't blame them. That's my own weird convict brainwashing that I talk so much shit about, and here I am like, oh, they should have, started a war with the paisas, even though it was going to be like 100-7. What a bunch of pussies, I mean, I don't know. You do a lot of silly stuff in there. So I go back to running the unit. I got, an assortment of weird. I got Lampshade. I got Mountain Man, I think, got out at this point. And, new people came in. Nobody really that memorable. New York. Hey, bro. Bro, can I have the coupon section in the newspaper, bro? Why do you want that? Why not, bro? Come on, bro. It's like my favoriteest coupons ever, bro. Seriously say shit like that all the time, and I'd just be like, oh my God, dude. I can't do this. My ribs still hurt. My jaw was throbbing. I had that hairline fracture right there. When I get out of the hole, I had called Karina, and I told her the truth. We were definitely in a period in our relationship where we were growing. Having Nico was a huge bonding experience, and to Karina's credit, she turned out to be a really great mother. I never would have expected that when she was wild. We used to call each other dumb sluts. We're like, oh, we're so drunk, we're dumb sluts. We fuck everyone and we get wasted. And that was like our whole thing. That was like our life. It was a fling. You know, I mean, that's what it had started out being. And then she was really there for me in prison, and she was a really great mother to my child. And that's like one in a billion, you know, most women. If a woman's good looking and she stays with you, you've got a bomb dick, you know, when you're in prison. She's like, hey, dude, his dick's so bomb, I gotta wait. No, we formed a real connection. While I was in there, we got to know each other. I mean, we didn't know each other. First of all, we met each other as piss drunks. Then I went through a psychotic breakdown for a couple months, you know, and so she never really got to know the real sober me. And there's a big, big difference. You know, if you ask people that knew me when I was 3 years sober, I was different than I am right now, even. You know, I'm getting back to that positive place. I really am. You know, I've been on like a spiritual, intellectual, emotional, mental growth spurt recently. But, you know, she got to know the best version of myself. Yeah, I was doing drugs here and there. You guys were cool. You were shooting coke. You're doing heroin. You're doing meth. How did she get to know the sober you? Because I wasn't doing that shit every day. And there were definite periods where I was completely sober, and I was starting to be a better partner to her. You know, I was becoming more considerate. I call her, see how she's doing, instead of just like talking about myself, you know, which I've kind of relapsed on. I'm doing that a lot now, more than I used to. And lately I just haven't had a lot of time, as I'm working so hard on all this other stuff, trying to just form a foundation for a future while the opportunity is ripe. You know, like I said, I got into playing poker. That became my favorite, you know, pastime while I was there, that and reading. But I played a lot of poker, and I actually started a poker table. And, you know, that was always, besides selling porn when I was in Oxford, running a poker table was always a really good source of income. And how you do that is, you know, you would make chips out of old cards. Usually you get a rubber band to make a stack. What is that? It's marker. I thought that was blood. I killed my landlord's dog, and no, I didn't do that. Please don't call some sort of tip line. He's wearing flannel. He admitted to that shit. You cut up old cards, and that's what you make your chips out of. And then when you're running a table, you rake the pot. So for every 10 chips, you take one, you put it into another box, and that's your cut. You know, everyone puts commissary in the bag, or maybe you guys clear it up on store day. I started making about 80 or 90 bucks a week. I got to the point where I just told Karina to keep the money. At least while I was there, you know, I was hustling enough and I was making my own money now. And I was like, yeah, I get Nico stuff instead. I was trying to provide and hustle and do, you know, contribute in my own little way. Nothing too eventful happened in that weird kind of limbo before I ended up going to prison. And I don't know if I had mentioned it in the video before this, but my dad had called the attorney, the woman that he had put on retainer, kind of acting as a quarterback, going in between the federal public defender and the state public defender, because remember, I'd fired Adam because he told my parents that my girlfriend was arrested for accessory to murder after the fact when she wasn't. That's ludicrous, and he was just a shitty attorney anyway. But this paid attorney, it would have cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to get her to represent me, especially because she was based in LA. So she would have had to travel up to Santa Barbara pretty frequently, and that can just get very costly. That's what we had to do with Bob Sanger on my first case, and cost a shitload of money. So one of the perks about having her on retainer is she had a good relationship with the U.S. Marshals. The federal system, the U.S. Marshals are the ones that are in charge of transporting you. So she called them, and they said that they had made a mistake. They had lost my paperwork, and they were going to get me out of there. You know, and in the federal prison, it's a little different than state prison. In federal prison, you get what's called designated. When you're designated, you know where you're going. So, you know, usually they don't tell you unless, you know, you have juice with them. But usually when you're in a jail, or if you're at MDCLA, say anywhere where, you know, you usually have somebody that's been there for long enough that has juice, but they're probably a rat. They're like, oh no, dude, I'm just a trustee. Oh, no, I just go in there and I close the blinds. Oh yeah, I bring 8x7 black and white photographs in my manila envelope. Yeah, just of inmates. No, just, you know, saying like, I like that dude's hair. Yeah, that dude's, you know, he's he's still active in a gang, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And they always do that. They'll go in there, and a lot of times, if it's a female counselor, you hear about guys. Sorry, I got dip in my mouth. I'm really trying to quit smoking. You hear about guys fucking them. Happens all the time. I mean, COs and counselors, as you know, I had a little experience out there in Oxford. They're human beings, and if there's attraction, there's attraction. It happens pretty frequently. And anyway, to get designated, that's when they assign you to what prison you're going to. In state prison, it's called getting endorsed. Catching a bag, like if you're at Wasco Reception Center, you catch a bag, it says what prison you're going to. You're going to Centinela, which is where I eventually went. And, that's where you go. So after she had talked to the U.S. Marshal, my dad's like, you're going to get out of there like within a week or so. And like I said, I was just playing poker, just kind of babysitting all these guys. Lampshade ended up getting out. I think he got OR'd, which is, I'm all for criminal justice reform, but he got OR'd for a stalking charge. You would think that'd be like one of those charges where they're like, and OR means own reconnaissance. They basically let you go without you having to post cash bail. And they just let him go eventually. Mountain Man got out. New York was one of the last guys with me. New York and Zaccato, this hardcore gambling junkie. He was like Chevy Chase in Dirty Work. He'd like have like a cast on all the time. He'd be like, oh no, dude, these Southsiders love me. And, and they'd just be like, shut up, Zaccato. You owe us $530 on the Patriots game. Huh? I thought you were going to call your mom. Okay. And he's like, he's like in his 50s. It's just ridiculous to see somebody puppeteered like that because of their gambling addiction. So the one thing that did happen before I left is another black guy had come in. Now, remember, we got in that full-blown riot with black guys. And there was that other time where one had come in, black guy, and he needed a place to stay, and I wouldn't let him bunk up with a white dude. Why? Because, as I said, that's the kind of thing that can follow you. It was my responsibility to adhere to California state politics. After all, we were in California state hybrid federal, custody. That dorm was half Fed, half state, mostly Fed, really. Probably like 70% Fed, 30% state. And, I couldn't afford for me to just let the black guy bunk up with the white guy and then have somebody that really cares about that kind of thing come in. And then they send a kite to whatever prison I'm going to, and I end up getting stabbed. And it's always by your friend. They're like, dude, there's a pottery class at 7 after chow, man. You want to go? No, you just got to sign up. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I actually have the sign up in my cell. Come in there. You can sign your name on there. And then we'll go do it. We'll go make some badass shit for your girl, bro. Yeah. Like a little statue of you guys kissing or something. It'll be so cute, bro. And you're like, damn, this is a human being. He's actually outside of that. Sorry, I got the hiccups. He's outside of that tough guy bravado. He's actually saying that I can make something cute for Karina. That is so fucking nice of him. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to sign up for it. And you go in there and you get fucking stabbed in the eye with a sharpened screwdriver or something. Yeah. Then some like lifer, like biker guy comes in and just like, he's like, oh, hold him down. I'm going to suck his dick. Oh. No eye contact. Fucking queer. You're like, oh man. So anyway, I couldn't let a black guy bunk up with me for that reason, not because I'm racist, because that's just how shit is in there. So now it's the middle of the night again. Another black guy comes in. Same exact situation. The only bunk that is open is above New York, right? And he'd always sleep with like, sorry, I know, hiccups annoying. Also, I'm going to stop sitting on my keys. It's not as comfortable as it sounded like it was. So, he would always sleep with this folded up, t-shirt around his eyes that he would use to blockade the light, and he looked ridiculous. You know, yo, dude, hey, bro, the only bed that's open, dude, is it's a white bed, and you're a black guy, and our rep, he's this short little stocky guy, he's angry guy. Very, very racist, bro. So I'm hearing him tell this black guy that I'm racist. Now, he already knew the reason. I told this guy this shit every day, almost got beat up every day over the TV because he would just go up there and like arbitrarily change it without asking anyone. Dude, this shit's stupid. And he'd just like change it, and there'd be like 40 paisas like sharpening knives on the floor, and they just like look up and be like, you know, why are you changing our shit? So I hear him say this, and I don't know why, but it enrages me, right? I'm already having a hard time. You know, I was honest with Karina. I don't even know if I finished that thought. And she was mad. You know, she's like, hey, it seems to me like you're not going to change. It seems to me like you're still running around and you're acting like you're 21. You're a father now. Man the fuck up and stop being around druggies in jail. You know, be solid for us. And whenever you do meth, you know, remember some Suboxone had come in for a little bit. Now I'm like sick off that. I didn't even know they made 12 milligram strips. I'd never heard of that before. It actually said it on the package. They do make them. And a 12 milligram strip goes a long way. That can get you high for like 2 or 3 weeks in there if you cut it up into very, very teeny pieces. So I'd run out of that. Now I'm coming off the meth, and you know, I'm just having the classic come down where everything just seems gloomy and morose and nothing. I'm sad. I'm saddened by my life condition. And it's the kind of thing where it's like those moments, and I can remember them very clear because they were painful. I'd be laying in bed and I'd just be thinking about what kind of person I was like in high school. I was just like a druggie. I didn't realize I was a drug addict. I certainly was. And it's not normal to wake up all the time with bloodstains on your pillow because you're snorting so much coke. Not in high school, you know? And shit you do like in your early 30s. You like get a beard, you know, and you snort coke till your nose bleeds. It's normal. There's literally like, you know, 1,000 30-year-olds with beards right now that have bloody pillows from snorting coke. That's not common at all. I was a drug addict. You know, as a dope fiend. It's a medical problem. A lot of that probably had to do with mental health stuff. Maybe a lot of that had to do with the fact that I was on Ritalin at a young age. Who knows? Who knows why? You know, it wasn't hereditary because I don't have any of that in my family. I do have some mental health stuff, but I don't have anyone else that's in active addiction or that's even has a history with it. So these are the kind of things you start thinking about. You're like, where did I go wrong? Like, I was an innocent kid. Then I finger banged a chick. I thought her bush was her vagina, but it was her bush. And then I actually touched it, changed my life. And now I'm here. Well, there's more to the story than that, but it seemed like I was innocent one day, then one day I wasn't. I was a drug addict. Why couldn't I be normal? Why do I keep going to jail? Why does this keep happening to me? Maybe I am a bad person. I know that I'm not now, but when you're sitting in jail with broken ribs, you know, you're getting treated like you're an animal by COs that have like the lamest buzz cut haircuts. You don't even think they're like flat tops. Yeah, flat tops, you know, with like fatigue wife beaters and combat boots, those kind of guys, and overweight on top of it with that haircut. They absurd. They look like caricatures from Texas or something. Oh my, you know, those kind of guys. And it's like, wow, man. It's ironic that the people that actually look like barn animals are treating us like animals when a lot of us are just mentally ill or drug addicted. It's what it comes down to. Like someone like Lampshade, I joke about him a lot. That guy probably didn't even know that he was there. You know, he probably thought that he was smoking PCP in Salem, Massachusetts, or New Hampshire, wherever the fuck he was from. You find that a lot in jail, you know? And one thing that I would see a lot when I was in Santa Barbara, and then when I got to San Bernardino at this point, is you'd see a lot of people that were homeless come in there. They weren't your traditional, like, you know, bums. You know, they weren't like hobos with a stick and the bandana with, what do you think they have in that little sack? Has anyone ever wondered that? Like, what the fuck? What possession can you have in there except for like a human head? Has anyone ever checked what's in these fucking bandanas that we see in popular culture? With it's what can you fit in there? A head. Yeah. A head in bubble poems. Can't fit like an extra pair of clothes in something this big. I don't know. I don't know why I'm thinking about that. Something I think about pretty frequently. No, I'm just kidding. I never think about that. These guys would go to jail, and this is what happens. And I've experienced it. Look, I've been blessed that my parents always had my back when I got out. You need a cell phone. You need us to help you get into an apartment. You need a car. What do you need? We'll help you. I'm their only child. They never gave up on me. You know, I mean, they certainly try as hard as they can not to enable me, but they have quite a bit in my life. Every time I've gotten out of jail, I've had them to help me, to kind of usher me back to some semblance of resources, you know, car, phone, apartment, you know. Sometimes not all that, you know, it just depends kind of like what's going on at that point and what my attitude is. But a lot of these guys that I'd meet in jail, what would happen is they'd get locked up. Maybe they'd have a kid, you know, and a baby mama all living together. You know, a lot of times it's toxic codependent relationships to begin with. They go to jail for a couple years. Maybe they do a term and their chick leaves them. Their family had given up on them long ago. So they get out, they literally have nowhere to go. A lot of these guys are going and living in like riverbeds. They're smoking meth. I'm sure there's a lot of sketchy sexual homeless meth stuff going down, I'd imagine. You know? It's like, dude, our life sucks. Let's just do it. Does it hurt? No. Does it feel good? No. Dude, I think maybe we should go to like an NA meeting or something. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, bro. And this sucks. Anyway. And then they get in this vicious cycle. They can't get jobs. You know, they can't even get a social security card or a driver's license. They don't even have the money to do that. Jails and prisons are supposed to provide that. They don't have a place. A lot of times they try not to go back to crime. A lot of times they have to for survival. You know, it's like, go get a job. It's like, it's hard to get a job when you're a convicted felon and when you have like prison work all over you. You know, you ever notice how people get like tattoos of prison scenes? Yeah, dude, put a gun tower right here. Barbed wire right here. Convict right here. In cursive. Cursive be hella hard, bro. Hella. Now, people advertise it quite a bit. And then you hear this thing that's really tragic that, you know, people say that they'd rather be in jail than out there, that they're more susceptible to getting hurt, to being hungry, and to being cold. They're out in the free world. You know, the 3 hots in a cot, even though it's 2 hots, a brown bag that a head goes in. No, bologna sandwiches every fucking day. So 2.5 meals and a bed that do you even know what a jail bed looks like if you haven't been to jail? It is a flimsy sheet of metal. And then you get a mattress this big that lampshade fucks. And Ryan fucks too. Has rolled up and gotten caught and like puts the shower shoes on the floor so that I can put my knees on it and then I have sex with it doggy style. A whole mattress. with the fifi rolled in the center. And then you can tighten it. I find that if you cut like pieces of sheet with the razor blade, so you can like make these like kind of like pretty girthy strings, you can wrap it around and you can kind of adjust the tightness. It can be cool. You know, you can't have porn, but there's porn in most prisons. And then, but you can get erotica. So my dad would always send me like lesbian penthouse confessions, and I'd be like, yeah. And I'd like bring it out to the yard and be reading that on the bleachers. Be like, dude, hey, that fool Vicious from Goleta? Fucking weird, bro. He's into chicks. So the reason I went off on that again is I just really want you guys to understand like where all this pent up aggression is coming from. I'm mad at the world. I'm mad at myself. I'm mad at everyone. Then I got this guy, yo, dude, look at that, bro. Just sounds ridiculous, you know? He sounds like a stunt double for Fred Flintstone that like got all drugged out and now he's on celebrity stunt double rehab. It's like on public access. It's like experimental college shit. I'm trying to be like celebrity rehab, but it's with people like this. Hey, do, bro. And nobody watches it. It pissed me off when he said that the reason that that he couldn't sleep on the bed was because of me, because I was racist. He said racist. It had nothing to do with me being racist. It had to do with me following the stupid racist rules that I have to, that everybody has to. And, you know, there's always people like, well, that wouldn't be me, brother. Nope, I'm a free thinker, brother. If I went to jail, I'd do what I want. You get your teeth knocked out of you too. And that happens all the time. There's always someone that wants to get all Malcolm X on it. That's a white dude. And that's cool. Look, all about equality. Now when I'm in jail, I'm like, hey, come on, white guys, let's go. You guys are my friends. And it's usually like the scummiest white dudes ever too. Like people like, yo, dude. So I don't say anything, you know? I don't even really know what is going on because I'm just kind of like, I kind of just go back to bed upset. Now, they wake you up at about 4 a.m. at San Bernardino County Jail. And you have to go down the escalator, go to chow. We've talked about it a million times. So everybody gets up, everybody's kind of half asleep, you know. I always put some toothpaste on my toothbrush before I even go line up for chow, because you have to like go in the Sally Port where you're like around like 100 men and like this very like tight little, you know, herd of people. So I always go brush my teeth. But then you always got the firefighters, like, you know, like New York, like he just gets out, his hair's all fucked up. He's like, dude, chow, let's go. Oh, no, that's not. Oh, hey, dude, I'm so fucking hungry, bro. I hope they have bananas again, bro. He doesn't brush his teeth. He's a firefighter. You're disgusting. I hope you get extradited already, man. I'm so sick of your bullshit. You're gonna get us in a wreck. I know it. The TV shit. And he called me a racist. So I wake up, I see him, he go, firefighter, of course, I'm brushing my teeth. I'm drunk with sleep, I'm groggy, and I'm just thinking, I'm gonna knock out New York right now in front of everyone. Knock him out. Make him feel like a bitch. Yeah, calling me racist like that. Because I was thinking about how the black dude probably felt. Like, that's fucked up. We're not in the 50s. We're not in the 50s in Tennessee. You know, it's like, no, bro. Not welcome. You know, I'm not that kind of guy. So I go in the Sally Port. We go to chow. I still don't say anything. I'm like, I'm just going to eat first because I don't even have energy for this. We go eat. Oh, New York's like, dude, this is a good banana. And then you hear hey, shut the fuck up. And that's really how they talk to you if you talk there. It's insane. It's like, why do you have to talk to me like that, man? You know? It's like our life's not hard enough, all right? This is corrections? I was getting anti-authoritarian sentiment because we got these fucking assholes with buzz cuts, or what are they called? Not buzz cuts. Flat tops. Yeah. You got these guys with flat tops yelling at you, and then you expect there's nothing rehabilitative about that. You know, if anything, if you're a nonviolent drug offender, you just get violent, you get more aggressive. That's it, because you've been treated like a fucking animal. Treat someone like an animal for long enough and see how they turn out. Do a little experiment. Be like, you know what? I'm gonna just start treating my roommate like a fucking animal. You know, and just say something totally out of context and mean. You know, making waffles and shit. Hey, Jerry. Yeah? Hey, dude, your girlfriend's fucking busted, dog. Fucking gross, fool. Can't you bring over something quality for me to look at? I always gotta see your busted ass bitch, man. Hey, you know what? I've been covering 60 for Wi-Fi the whole time. You use half of it. You have to pay for it now. In fact, I'm gonna charge you juice, dude, for the 7 months that you've been using my Wi-Fi without pitching in, dude, you piece of shit bitch. Here. The one I spit on's for you. Your busted ass girlfriend. Yeah, that's pretty much how COs talk to us. So I go to Chow, come back, and they leave us locked in the Sally port before they have to come manually open it. It's like magnetic bar doors that open, right? We get there and I'm hearing this dude. Like, I kind of forgot about it after I went and ate Chow, right? But then I hear him go, yeah, dude. Oh, California, man. Man, I hate California, bro. These people here are so fucking stupid. Bunch of garbage ass people. And I'm like, hey, dude. Hey, you know, I was meaning to say something to you. The fuck are you doing? Telling some black dude that I'm racist and I'm not letting him sleep on the bed because I'm a racist guy. I'm adhering to politics. You know, you got a fucking problem with it, you can leave. Oh, dude, what are you trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that you're a fucking punk ass bitch. That's what I'm trying to say, you fucking lame. And this is in front of everyone. In front of about 100 people. Everyone's like, they're like in shock. Anytime you hear that word, especially in those quick successions like that, it's not good. Somebody is fighting, unless they are not on anything, which is apparently, like, he was genuinely hurt. Right? That I called him this. In fact, I felt the lame myself because I felt bad for him that I hurt his feelings. I'm like, hey man, I didn't mean that. He's like, no, bro. You said what you had to say. I'm like, well, and I didn't take off on him. I just verbally assaulted him like that. In New York, if you're watching, I'm sorry about that. But you gotta understand the situation you put me in. It made me look like some racist asshole when I'm not. You know, the black dude look at him. Straight seasoned convict. The black dude in question was like, there's no way that dude wasn't a hardcore convict. It's one of those guys that was completely blasted in like cheap prison face tattoos. You know, like a dollar sign, you know, it just has like a dollar sign and then like a shitty pick and poke bud leaf that like is missing like the middle leaf, like the most important leaf. So it just looks like some pitchfork or something. It's like, yeah, one of those kind of guys. He knows what time it is. He knows that all you got to tell him is what's up. You know, communication. When I used to be at MDCLA in 2009, there was this guy, Sharky, I told you about, he was running arguing. He was one of the scariest dudes I've ever met in my life. Scary ass guy. His name was Sharky. Looked like a shark. He's just a mean guy. And he had hands on him. Man, that was a really hardcore guy. You know, and, he used to make wine, and he used to front it to people. He'd front it to me, and once in a while, like, you know, a few times my money didn't hit. And he taught me to just come and tell him. And he'd be like, see? Communication. It's fucking beautiful. He was like that, right? He kind of freaked me out, I think, one time over it. You know, kind of lectured me. And from that point forward, if I ran into that situation, I'd tell him way ahead of time so that he wasn't planning on doing anything with the money. And then somehow I was going to get in the way of that. Communication is key. It's key. It's key. Like, if you are going to be late paying someone, you got to tell them up front. You know, you got to just tell them the truth. And a lot of guys don't do that in jail. And I've been guilty of it myself, you know. Oh, dude, I got you on Tuesday on store day. For sure, brother. For sure. In fact, find the scariest, baddest motherfucker in here, get something fronted, That's how sure you can be of my money coming. I got you, right? Then Tuesday comes, dude, my money didn't hit. He's like, well, I mean, I owe Big Tony $100 now. You know, you look at him and it's like some guy with like a hook for a hand, and he's like, "Wah!" And you're like, oh, fuck, dude. He really did choose the biggest, baddest, scariest guy. Communication is key. And I called him punk ass bitch and a lame in front of everybody, checked him, and it hurt his feelings. And it brought me outside of that, like, that facade that I was generating, where I was just this tough, mean guy. And I felt bad. I'm like, you know, and I started getting all whack. I'm like, are you all right, man? Yeah. I'm just having a hard time, bro. That's all. I'm like, you want a hug? All right. We're hugging, you know? You're hearing the paisas saying faggot and Spanish. They're like, no, fucking joto, no. Fucking jotos. I'm like, he's like, you know, there's like a tear coming out of his eye. And I'm not even, it's not exaggerated one bit. It's exactly what went down. They were calling us jotos. I heard him say it, and I just let him say it. It was a very not cool, not very tough moment. I hurt his feelings, and then I hugged him because I felt bad. Because I'm not an asshole like that. But, you know, I got to play the part sometimes when I'm in there. That was probably like the most eventful thing that happened. Thursday night comes, the night where they call you on the PA. They finally called my name. You know, my dad was right. He got the attorney to get the U.S. Marshals to move it. Make sure that I get transferred. I still didn't know where I was going that particular time. I assumed I was going to Victorville because that's like a general rule of thumb when you're paroling. Or when you parole. And paroling doesn't mean you're on parole, just to clarify it for people that haven't been through the system or don't know what that term means. Parole just means getting out of prison. If you're on parole, it means that you got out, you know, under supervision conditions. Now it's AB 109. They still have parole. But anytime you get out of prison, you're paroling. When you actually leave a prison, you're paroling. You usually go back to the yard that you paroled from. Now, I don't know if you remember all the drama that I had gotten in at Lompoc. I didn't leave there owing money or anything. I didn't leave there on bad terms, but it's like, I guess, definitely cause for a little concern, for sure. You know, who knows if people are going to be mad or if maybe people misconstrue how I did leave the yard last time. I'd gone to the hole. Maybe some people thought that it was on purpose, which it wasn't. The whole Jamie Lake thing, putting his house on blast. Maybe he's still there. Maybe he's running the yard now. Wouldn't surprise me. Last time I was there, he was running the unit. So it's kind of like, you know, when they told me to roll it up, I was a little anxious about it, as I didn't know where I was going. The way it works at San Bernardino is they bring you down to like the front central station, same tanks that you go in when you're getting booked in, and there's a bunch of other people going to prison, you know. Everybody, pretty much, Victorville is the hub. So Victorville's in San Bernardino County. That's like the traveling hub. We've talked about it. They take you to an airport. All these different buses come. You know, there's the girl in the sweatpants. Someone's like, dude, that bitch is bad. And it's like, it's the paisa from The Last Story's girlfriend. She like looks and she like takes out her glass eye, just like flicks it at her adoring fan. Someone like grabs it like it's a guitar pick. I'll keep this forever. You know, it's just the most, yeah, it's weird. It's weird seeing men get that animalistic over women. So all these different guys are going to prison. I'm asking them where they're going. Oh, we don't know where we're designated, because at San Bernardino, they didn't really have cops that were cool that would tell you where you were going. You know, like other places, there were guys with juice. There wasn't anyone fucking the counselors. It was a county jail, sheriffs, a bunch of low grade ass sheriffs working there. So we're all kind of just talking about, you know, different prisons. And I'm telling them that I've been to all the different places I've been to throughout my time in federal custody. And people are asking me questions. This goes on for about 4 or 5 hours. They finally dress you into your travel clothes. So in the feds, it's blue suede shoes, it's elastic pants, and you get ready to go. You know, you put your property in like these translucent garbage bags. They put your name on it, and you get on a bus. They put shackles and handcuffs. Now, they put me on the bus, and I was right by the girls, which was cool. Girls were like in the front, and it's kind of just luck of the draw where you go. And on that bus, you know, it's co-ed. There's no GP, PC, or anything in the feds, so I just got lucky, and I was, you know, right in talking distance of the girls. Then this white guy comes in. He must have been like 5'2". His name was Popeye. I've talked about him before. And he's this white dude. Swastikas all over him. Comes up to me. He's like, hey, bro, what's up? I'm Popeye. I'm from Des Moines, Iowa. How you doing, dog? I was like, pretty good. Pretty good. He's like, oh, all right. I'm like, where are you coming from? He's like, oh, dude, USP Victorville. Yeah. I stabbed a child molester in the shower. I was like, oh, they're still stabbing people at Victorville. That's cool. Now, at this point, they had told me that I was going to Victorville. I was thinking it was either going to be Lompoc or Victorville, but I was surprised when it was Victorville, and I hadn't been there for so long. I was actually kind of looking forward to it, you know? I mean, just to be able to get the contact visits, the email, all the stuff we've talked about before. So Popeye's telling us this story. He's telling me a story. It's just me and him talking. And yeah, he had stabbed Chomo in the shower 46 times. Now, how is a Chomo walking at a USP? His controlling case, which means what he was there for, wasn't a sex offense case. But when you're in Victorville and when you're with like those high power guys that run around USP right there, they do roll calls and they look at your extensive arrest history, and they found out that this guy had lewd and insidious acts on a minor, you know, a child under the age of 14, piece of shit. Popeye went on a mission. He was only doing a 7-year sentence. He stabbed the guy 46 times. They gave him 15 more years. So now he's doing a 22-year sentence. He couldn't have been more than 30 years old. Maybe he was a little younger than that. It might have been 26, 27. And he started telling me about how it is now at Victorville, how it's run, half of it's run by the California AB, the brand, Aryan Brotherhood, and they run the Independent Peckerwoods, which is what I fall under. Not a gang member, but I'm active at that point. I mean, I hadn't been to the mixed yard yet or anything. And there is no active or not active at this particular place anyway. So I'm talking to him, and he's telling me, like I said, that it's split between the Aryan Brotherhood. It's also split between white gang members, tips, right? And he said that at Victorville right then that Nazi lowrider guy was running the yard. I'm like, oh, that's just fucking fantastic. If you guys remember, when I had the little stabbing incident when I was 19, it was an NLR guy. I don't know if I ever talked about that in a video, but I definitely put it in my book, Wasting Talent's True. The guy that I stabbed, skinhead, was in, well, I consider that a skinhead. He was NLR. He looked like a big Nazi skinhead, but he was a Nazi lowrider, NLR. Those guys have been trying to get me for quite a long time. Now, thing is they can't walk at most yards. They're in the hat in the state, meaning that they're PC'd up. So, you know, it's not like you have exposure to them when you're GP. And in the federal system, they were pretty much in the hat as well. But since they don't have PC there, they put people in the hole indefinitely. Well, that was all, you know, that all changed after Obama. He outlawed indeterminate shoe sentences, which means that back in the day, they could just put you in the hole arbitrarily for as long as they want. You know, well, we'll let you out someday. They would say stuff like that, like if you were high power, and they would just like let you rot in the hole. So now I'm really worried because I know that I'm going to Victorville. I'm designated to the USP Victorville. That's where they say I'm going. And, you know, that's a hardcore maximum security federal penitentiary. Not only that, but half of it's run by white gang members. And in this particular time period, Nazi lowrider was running half the yard. And they knew who I was. When that happened, it was a thing. So I had a lot of trepidation going into that. You know, and in my mind, I'm just thinking, I want to get home to Nico. I want to get home to Karina. You know, I want to be a good dad. I want an opportunity to have some purpose and meaning in my life. And this is going to be a test to that because and I was right. I was absolutely right. I was walking into a fucking trap. And trust me, this whole thing gets worse and worse and worse. Wait until I get to Centinela State Prison. That's after all this federal shit that I'm about to go through in the next, 5 or 6, 7 videos. 12 riots while I was at Sentinella in 3 months. 12 riots. The most hardcore prison term I've ever done was this term. And I already gotten jumped in Santa Barbara. I'd already gotten the riot at San Bernardino. Man, you have no idea what's coming. It's going to get crazier and crazier. Starting in this federal period, because this shit was nuts. Please like, comment, subscribe. Check out patreon.com/Ryan Leone. Check out my Instagram, RyanLeone85. Twitter's RyanLeone85. The Paul Narcan Project is paulnarcanproject.com. All the links will be in the pinned comments. Appreciate you guys as always, and I hope to see you tonight for the raffle. Palabra.